Hello, Mr. Will. This is our podcast. We're going to be talking about very fun stuff. So, Yea Jun, start it off. Let's go.
I'm gonna talk about my about the Queen Elizabeth death. Recently, Queen Elizabeth has that passed, passed away away at the age of 96, and every citizens of England is mourning for her death. Okay, firstly, due to the death of Queen Elizabeth, economy I feel like might fall down because during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, it, it was pretty stable, I guess, for England. And I think we should give credit to the Queen. I think that the death of Queen Elizabeth won't affect any climate issues. Also, main cause, main implication that I want to make with the article that I read, and also outside, um, it's like social media. Yeah, for example, um, when I was scrolling through Instagram, uh, I saw memes about like Queen Elizabeth, after the Queen Elizabeth died, stuff like that. They were making fun of her. Um, and I feel like it's not like a respectful thing to do. Instead, we should like respect her by not posting those memes. Yes, I honestly think that the social media uh, is getting more toxic. This should be stopped, and those people who's like posting those stories or like posts about her death should actually apologize sincerely, because Queen Elizabeth has done actually like maybe not be noticeable, but she did help a lot of other countries, and it might be helping our country too. So like, because she has like donated like a bunch of money to charities. For example, in 2012, she donated like more than 1.43 billion dollars. No, I feel like um, we should respect her for doing that also, and instead of posting memes about her. The author of this article is like, I felt like he was really successful at delivering his message to the readers, because the author was giving good examples of what the Queen did in the past and made England a great country. So they made the article sound as if the Queen was an angel that had died, and many people should mourn for her death for what she has done.
Yejun, do you think the Queen ultimately was a good person or a bad person? As in, like, with all the things she's done in the past, with people calling her a colonizer on the internet, do you still think that she has done more good in the past or more bad?
Well, it depends on the perspectives of people, I guess, because well, in my opinion, I think she did more of a good thing, because although she might have been like colonizing other lands, and maybe people might have felt more personal, but I think that she has done more good things in the past than the bad things, like donating to the charities. That shows how her true self, her true identity. And in the end, being a queen or king has both bad and good things they have to do. You feel me? Like like they, for example, like you have to make decisions that might not be favorable for some people, and that's just like, I feel like that's just the nature of being president or ruler, king or queen, whatever. That's my answer.
Right, cool. Thank you, Yejun, for joining us all the way here from Malaysia, even though your Wi-Fi might be kind of crazy. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to talk about a more lighthearted topic, a school shooting in Thailand. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So, in the northeastern of Thailand, there was a school shooting that that happened that resulted in the death of 37 people with with 24 of them being children, and some were stabbed. Most were stabbed to death, and some were shot to death. The shooter was actually an ex-police person who went on a rampage because they were just recently fired from their police station for possession of methamphetamine pills. Whether he was actually on meth when he was shooting up the school, we do not know. But yeah, he was dismissed and then he went on a rampage. And the interesting part that I got from this Reuters article is that the shooter obtained that gun, the 9mm pistol, legally. And it wasn't actually, he didn't steal it, he didn't buy it on in illegal ways, he got it legally. And that brings me on to my first implication, which I wrote down before this article from the Washington Post came out, which was that Thailand is starting to get tougher on its gun control after this massacre. Prayut Chan-o-cha, or as we affectionately call him in Thailand, Lung Tu, decided to pass a referendum in which they will start making sure that most guns that are actually owned by people are one, they are bought legally, and two, they are in the possession of someone who actually has mental stability and little to no criminal history. Each specific gun requires a permit, and every single applicant must explain why they seek a license. The other thing that I want to talk about is CNN journalists coming into the actual site itself. CNN reporters Anna Coren and Daniel Hodge, they went into the crime scene with the permission of some people who allowed them to go to the crime scene, but didn't have the authority to actually give them permission. So that's why even though they were caught with it, they wouldn't be facing any charges, and they were just told to leave the country. Put simply, these CNN reporters, they just went into the crime scene without official permission, took photos, took videos, and they're actually seen to jump over a fence to get into the crime scene and take photos. And people cited that it goes against the ethicality or just the laws of journalism.
Do you think like stricter gun control would actually help? Like, say you're looking at whether or not the person is mentally stable or if they have any like other criminal records. Do you think that would help?
I believe it will help to an extent, because I think putting further restrictions on obtaining guns or having guns is better than completely just outlawing guns in general, because if you outlaw them, then you can't enforce it. You can't enforce who gets it and what happens with it. But if we legalize the ownership of guns, but place restrictions on the guns and the owners, we can restrict the access to certain guns to certain people who actually have the desire for self-defense or just recreational shooting rather than acts of violence.
I have a question, Gusty. Do you guys think that, since this incident has happened, like for example, our school suddenly had what is that thing called? Lock. Yeah. So do you think those protocols, like those, are necessary?
Yeah, I definitely think that they're necessary, because you never know what would happen. Because even in Thailand, which is relatively safe and even before this was pretty strict on gun control, these accidents still happen from people that can own guns. Yea Jun, you're not muted, by the way, if you're wondering.
Yeah.
That can own guns and can use these guns. And I think anything can happen. So having these protocols in place in case, like, God forbid this ever happens, we are planned and we are prepared for this situation.
Yeah, I agree.
That plays into the safety implications for me. And I think I'm finished. Who is next?
Okay, I'm next. Let's talk about Ned Fulmer. So you guys basically know what happened to the Try Guys. One of the fans caught Ned Fulmer cheating on his wife in a nightclub, like kissing with his, I think it was his employee, Alex. And the Try Guys, they kept it quiet for a while, like to deal with all the legal issues. And they recently came up with a video explaining what happened and what they're going to do afterwards. They basically said that they would delete all of the footages they had of Ned and all the pre-recorded stuff. And one thing I can think about that is like the economic, like the money implication. because honestly, they will lose a lot of money. They already filmed so many videos, and those videos probably cost a lot of money to make, like all the time and energy they spent. And creating content is not easy. Like you need to invest in a lot of money, and they they said that like a lot of videos they would have to completely like cut off, like they can't show to the public, and that's a waste of money to not be able to release videos that they already planned. And I mean, and then they also talked about the brand sponsors and brand deals, and editing them out. I mean, they would lose like, I don't know, I'm not sure, but they would lose quite a lot of money, right? Because they're losing like a fan that they liked, and there are a lot of people that watch Netfumer for his persona of being the white guy, and if that's not there for the Try Guys anymore, they probably don't have a lot of reason to continue watching them. And one of the things that I saw that I noticed that happened was they didn't get a divorce. Like they didn't get a divorce, and they were seen like him, like walking together after they released the videos. And honestly, what do you guys think about that? Like them not getting divorced?
Well, maybe it could imply that this has happened more than once, and maybe they're like the wife is getting used to him being like this, because I also saw on like a post on Instagram that they looked just fine, like nothing happened. Maybe it was just a face, but I don't know.
I also want to add on to what Noon said about it might have happened before, which I think an article came out with a BuzzFeed employee also saying that Ned, when he was still at BuzzFeed, would try to hit on other employees, and even though he was married. So I feel like I think this is the first time when it was actually public and it was actually, instead of it being covered up, I feel like Ned's wife might be used to this or is okay with it. Because yeah, as Newton said, people have seen Ned and Ariel, his wife, being happy together and being fine, still working things out. So I feel like this might be normal, although might not be morally okay in the eyes of the public that they're still together. So yeah.
I think that they should be divorced, not like continue the marriage, I guess, because um cheating on someone shows you enough of how how, how like you don't have any feelings for it, I guess. Yeah. So and that would, and continuing the marriage would have a negative effect on the net former, whatever his name is, and not because like you cheated and you continue the marriage. Probably a lot of bad comments about him. So yeah, I think he shouldn't continue. Just divorce her. Just divorce with her, bro. Yeah, that's what I think.
Noon, you have 6 minutes.
Okay, so since I have 6 minutes exactly now, I will have to quickly speed run this. Okay, so another bright issue starting from June 14, 2022, a big flood in Pakistan has happened, and it is still affecting people till today. And in an article from NPR News, Daya Hadid, this person has spent time in one badly affected district in southern Pakistan. And according to Daya Hadid, this is her quote, it's deeply poor backwater, about 5 hours drive from the nearest city. And people there are farmhands and they raise livestock. And the monsoon rains there has created a lake about 70 miles wide. So in this article, it states that hundreds of villages were submerged, and this could have economic implications because farmers will have a hard time with making income, and the overall economy of Pakistan will also suffer because there would be no imports or exports in the country, and that means no income. And they are already spending money trying to fix the country and its flood-affected areas. And this issue could affect Pakistan's economy for a long time since the flood is still ongoing until today. And in another article, this article states that there were 47 people on a flaming bus, and they 18 people were killed in a bus fire. And according to an article by Al Jazeera, the fire started in the back of the bus, which might be due to a fault in the air conditioning system. Oh, I have 4 minutes. The local police officer Hashim Rohi told the news article Al Jazeera. And for this issue, there could be safety implications because at least 18 people were killed during this accident. And the fault in the aircon system could be caused by the flood and the electricity motor short circuiting or something. And these people were people who were trying to escape from the flood, which means that the flood greatly affected people and families trying to escape. And during this flood, a ex-finance minister estimated Pakistan's flood losses at around $40 billion. And this is also another economic implication because the flood and damages caused to the country and the country having to fix the flood damaged areas cost a lot of money. And I also saw in videos filmed online and on TikTok of the flash floods of the flash floods caused by global warming and climate change, greatly affecting people's homes, and everything was swept away in an instant. So they must be very sad. And this also has some environmental implications and serves as a warning to people that global warming is real, even though some people may still not believe it to be true. So yeah, we have 2 minutes left. Okay.
Okay, this is a general question. Do you like the rain? I don't freaking know what to ask.
Actually, I do like the rain, and this is because sometimes there are small floodings and school might be closed. Yeah. What do you think?
I think flooding is cool, but not the Pakistan level of flooding. I think
Yeah, exactly.
that's the real safety and environmental concern. But when it comes to flood days and not having school, that's pretty good. But yeah, we have to our thoughts and prayers are out to everyone involved in all of these incidents. That's
Yes.
great. So that's a wrap. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Anyone want any final words?
Yeah. Question you asked, like, I think I would like rain to, but there's like a limit to it. You feel me? Like flooding is not what I would want. Like a little rain. Guys.
Yeah, Jun, you have like a minute and 10 seconds.
Damn, that's it.
Wait, let's have one of Yea Jun's audience's opinions. Minjae, do you like the rain?
All right, here. Okay, Minjae,
quickly. Minjae, do you like the rain? It's gonna cut out soon.
Like the rain, yeah.
Maybe a second. Can I be the second guess?
Sure.
What was the question?
Oh, no, and Rosemary, do you have anything to say?
Go.
Okay, cool. Thank you, everybody. Cool. Meeting's about to end. Good job, everyone. And what great topics, what lighthearted and happy topics. Okay, great. Have a good night. Rosemary, study hard for AP Psych.
Thank you. Good luck, Nan.
Thank you. You too. Bye.